Hey, well, isn't this fun? It's the first live video I've ever done, and I'm kind of excited about it. So I've kind of got some thoughts and figured, Friday morning, what's the best way to spend a Friday morning but to talk about purpose and success? And so that's what I am going to dive into. And people can jump on, they can add some comments in the chat. That's fine with me. But I want to talk about the fact that I believe that you were created for a purpose and that everyone has a defined purpose that they are meant to exact and meant to accomplish in their life. And I think that until we know exactly what that is, our one goal, our one purpose, should be to find that which we were created for. And I believe that you'll know when you find it. I really do. I think that each one of you is endowed with some gifts and knowledge and a manner in which you interact with the world that is deeply unique to you. You all make people feel a certain way, and you all interact with people differently. And the great news about you being an individual is that you bring something to the table that we can't recreate with someone else. And so that to me gives you incredible value because your specific experiences and perspectives, the way that you bring things into the world that I may not know or I may not have seen, that makes you massively valuable in a conversation as we're trying to, all find our way through life and figure out what's going to bring us purpose, joy, peace, and happiness. And so if the concept here is we need to find our purpose, uh, I think that to expound upon that, it requires thought and it requires intention. If you are waking up every day and you get into a routine and you do the same thing over and over again, and you're not actively searching or seeking or figuring out what it is you bring to the table, what it is you do better than other people, then that means you're not actively searching for a purpose, and you're basically just kind of waiting and hoping that purpose hits you in the face. And I think that at times it will, but I don't think that at time it always does. So what does the pursuit of purpose look like? Well, I think that it requires time, effort, and attention. I think you have to map out what you're good at, what you love, and what you do. I mean, if you think about it, what do you value? What is important to you on a day-to-day basis? What do you look for? What's important to the things that you do? Then what do you do for fun? What brings you joy? When you have nothing else to do, when you have an infinite amount of time, what would you choose to spend your time with? And then what's going to cause you stress? In what moments do you feel stress existing in your life? And then what brings you joy? And I think that if we continue to mull these things over in our mind and we spend some time thinking about it, we spend some time writing it out, I think we come to an understanding of, okay, now I know kind of what I'm built for. Now how do I enact that purpose? I have been searching my entire life, and I've always kept a journal. Well, not always. I think since college, I've kept a journal, and I write and I think and I go back and read sometimes when I want to scare the crap out of myself and look at who I was and what I thought and where I've come from. And I when I go back and look at the patterns in my life and the places that I end up in, and then the relationships I end up having, and how that all kind of manifests itself out, it's like it never has shocked me that I don't have an aversion to doing things that make me uncomfortable. Um, I don't have a problem putting myself out there, and I'm kind of open to criticism. Like I don't know, I've never done a live video on YouTube before. I don't know if that's if I'm going to meet with success on that. I don't know if anybody's going to get on and watch it, and I'm not really concerned about that. What I'm more concerned about is I feel like I have an opportunity to speak to and meet with people and help them figure out what's going to make their life the best version of it that they can. And whether I'm good at it or not, I don't think that that stops me from desiring to do it. I'm not really concerned about my purpose being that I might be the best. I may never sell out 100,000 person arena, but if I can take care of one person, if I can help one person and better their life, I mean, to me, that makes sense. Now, that's a purpose that some of you might relate with. It's a purpose that some of you might not relate with, and that's fine. If your purpose is building a very big business, if your purpose is a charitable cause, whatever it is, it doesn't matter if it's important to me, and it doesn't matter if it's important to anybody else. But if it's valuable and important to you, I think that you have a duty and obligation to pursue it, because I think that success, when it's poorly defined, leads to abject misery. if we misidentify what success actually means, then we're opening ourselves up to, at the very worst, probably living someone else's definition of what success is, and never really experiencing the true happiness that comes from understanding your own version or view of success. So, what do you want? What do you actually want out of this life? Do you want to retire one day? I mean, if that's the end game, if that's the end result, if that's the best thing that we can hope for, is that we don't have to work anymore, I think that we're selling ourselves a little short of the beauty and majesty that is, just waking up every day and having an existence. I mean, we get to interact with people. I never lose the joy. Like, it's never going to get boring to me that my kid wants to spend some time with me. Like, he's 5, he just started kindergarten, and now he's waking up early in the morning because he's got to get ready for school. And those just beautiful moments that I get where he just wants to get up. He hasn't fully woken up, and he comes and crawls in the chair with me in the morning and while I'm drinking my coffee, and I just get to experience him. Like, that's amazing. That's success to me. Success to me is that I have time that I can spend with him. That it's not the ultimate success, but it's certainly part of it. So, if we can't answer the question of what do I want and how do I define success, I think that some people just say, "Well, I just want to be happy." Okay, well, how do you define that? Like, we're just following down this rabbit hole of missed definitions or undiagnosed definitions that, okay, I want to be successful. Okay, what does that mean? Well, I don't know. Well, I want to be happy. Okay, what does that mean? Well, I don't know. If you don't know, then how do you know when you are those things? If you don't know what success is and you can't define success, you can't clearly point to it and say, this is what success looks like for me, how will you know if you're ever successful? Well, you won't. Okay, well, I want to be happy. Okay, what does that look like for you? And if you can't specifically point to, this is what makes me happy, this is what brings me joy, and when I do these things, I'm happier. If you can't do that, then you are never going to know when you're happy. So you're going to constantly be pursuing something that you haven't defined. And if you pursue something you haven't defined, you'll never know when you get there. I mean, there's a continuum of our reality that we have basic needs that need to be met. We need food, we need shelter, we need clothing, and so we have to have a means to be able to occupy and do that. Then once we have the basic needs met, then luxuries get put on top of it. Being able to go on vacations or purchase the car you want, or whatever that looks like. And then there are people that can save. You have savings and then investment, and so there are any number of stops on this continuum, right? That once you have your basic needs met, and then there's, having disposable income to make your money work for you, all along that spectrum of money, there is basically a structure of the things that we occupy or the things that occupy our world. But how do you know when enough is enough? Like, at what point do you get to stop? At what point did you amass enough wealth? At what point did you amass enough luxury? And is it, and let me ask you this question, is enough when your basic needs are met? And is that bad? Is it bad to say I am earning the money that I need to earn to create the life that I choose to create, and I'm happy within it, and I don't need to do anymore? The constant pursuit of better and more and bigger, I think, is probably a reason that people are experiencing more unhappiness than at any time, because we have this innate desire to go and achieve and do and build and big and make bigger and do more and make and earn more. And I think that's just because we didn't stop and say, what does success mean to me and what makes me happy? I play golf. Y'all know I play golf. Um, if you don't, now you do. I enjoy golf, and I have a lot of people ask me that. What's your handicap? And I'm like, I'm a solid 19, and that's not very good. And people are like, well, if you just practiced a little bit more, you get really good at golf. I'm like, I am really good at golf. I have a great time whenever I play. I get to experience people, because I don't always play with people I know. So I get to make new relationships and meet new people. I get to play different golf courses. I get to have a good time. It's fun. Like, well, don't you want to, be a single digit handicap? Not particularly, because that's going to lose the joy. If I go out with an expectation to, shoot par or something, like that's a lot of work. I think it would take the fun out of it. For me, the fun is not knowing where my ball's going to go when I hit it. That might be a terrible example, and some of you are questioning whether you ever want to play golf with me or not. That's fine. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm not happy all the time. Things happen. Stress is introduced into my life. Frustrations are introduced into my life, but I am much more apt to deal with them because I come from a place of joy. I come from a place of peace because I'm constantly looking for those opportunities. Because I think that even in the most trying struggle, there is a moment of peace. Like we have the fight or flight response, right? Like enzymes in your body start, getting released, and your heart rate goes up, and adrenaline happens, and I think even in that moment, when your physiology is gearing up to either fight something or run away because a real or perceived danger or threat or stress happens, I think that in those moments when you can be self aware enough to say, I'm going to calm myself, I'm going to look for the opportunity to use this energy in a manner that will serve me and serve others. We can train ourselves to do that. We certainly can. So I'm going to bring it back to the first point. You were created for a purpose. And until you know exactly what that is, your only purpose is to find it. And that takes thought, it takes consideration, it takes searching and seeking. But I think that the pursuit of it is so valuable because the attaining of it can give you so much that you can then give to others. And I think that if that's what our goal is, to figure out what am I built for, what am I created for, what do I do well, and how can I use that, not just for me, but for anyone around me. I think that when that becomes our lens in which we view life and we view relationships, we view other people, well, if nothing else, it helps us get along a little bit better. And I want for everyone to be happy. I want for everyone to enjoy each other. And ultimately, I want to stop defining success based on a number in a bank account and a fictionary date, or a fictitious, sorry, my English is not Englishing today, a fictitious date where we don't have to work anymore. Because I think getting out of bed every morning is a good thing. I mean, if you don't have to work at a job anymore, but you still need to do something with your time. You still have to have some valuable pursuit that you're going to work for and choose to attain. And so, whatever you choose to do with it, I hope you do something with it. If it's just take 10 minutes a day and just think about what you value, I think that's the first exercise of this discipline is, start thinking about what it is I value. What do I do for fun? What causes me stress? What brings me joy? Okay, what am I really, really good at? What am I very, very bad at? Like, I'm really good at having fun on the golf course. I'm just really bad at golf. Okay. Does that mean I'm going to stop playing golf? No, I'm probably going to do more of it. I enjoy it. So, what am I really good at? What am I not so good at? And how can I orient and structure my life such that I'm doing more of the things that I'm good at and I don't have to do as many of the things that I'm bad at? Well, I think that's worth it. I think that that's something that we can press into because, again, you'll know when you find purpose. That's going to be a lot of what I continue to focus on and talk about because my my purpose, I think, is to help everyone find theirs. And whether I can succeed at that or not, who knows? But I think that there's value in the attempt. And so let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video if you're that inclined. I'd love for you to do that. Share anything I got and interact with me because I want to help. So that's what I've got for you on this beautiful Friday morning on August 18th. And I look forward to the next opportunity that I can do this. So until that day, make it a great day.